Hi, in today's video we will learn how we can capture user input in our Electron application. Start by creating a new folder and then switching to that folder and initializing a new npm project. Restart VS Code in this new folder where you initialize the project. Open the terminal and add the only dependency we are going to use, that's Electron. For this demo, we will create a bit different folder structure than last time. So create a source folder and inside of it, create an index.js file. Inside index.js, import the three main modules we are going to use. That's app, browser window, and IPC main. Also import the path utility module because we are going to need that later. Add a create window async function and inside of it grab the path to your index.html file and also create a new instance of a browser window with a given width and height and load the index.html file. Finally, add the app lifecycle listener that is going to call create window when Electron is ready. Next, create a resources folder. That's where we are going to add our index.html file. The index file is very simple. It contains a single label and an input. It also embeds a renderer script from the source folder. Let's check out what we have so far. So open package.json, update the location of your main script and add a new script to the scripts section that's going to start Electron. Switch to the terminal and type npm start. The HTML page that we created with a single label and input should appear inside a window. You should be able to type into the input and close the window. Next, we will create the renderer.js file that we embedded into our index.html. This is going to be a very simple script. We are going to grab the reference to the name input and add a handle on change listener that's called every time the value of the input changes. For now, the handle on change function will only alert the value of the input, but we will change this later. Switch back to the terminal and type npm start. If you added the handle on change listener correctly, the value of the input should show up inside of an alert dialog. In the same folder, create a file called Preload.js. Inside Preload.js, we will import two modules, the context bridge that's going to help us to expose a namespace to our renderer process and IPC renderer to be able to communicate between the main and the renderer process. We haven't talked about Electron's process model yet, but imagine it as having a main process that has full access to your operating system and runs inside a Node.js environment, and a renderer process that's essentially a web browser that is showing your application. I will leave some links in the description below that will help you better understand the process model of Electron. So with context bridge expose main word, we essentially give this API object to the renderer process that has only one function called setName that uses IPC renderer.invoke. This is going to trigger an event with the same name in the main process and it will receive the values we send as the second argument. Now switch back to your renderer script and instead of passing the value of your input to this alert function, call the setName function on the API namespace that we just exposed to the renderer process. Now switch back to your terminal and start the application again. The only difference this time will be that the alert is not going to show because we replaced it with our API.setName call. Now let's go back to our index.js script and grab the path to the preload script. Next, we will modify the constructor browser window with the web preferences object. First, we are going to add the context isolation flag. The context isolation feature ensures that both your preload script and Electron's internal logic runs in a separate context. This is considered a good security practice in Electron.js, and it basically prevents the website from accessing Electron's internals or the powerful APIs your preload script has access to. And the last flag that we will add is just the path to our preload script. Finally, we are going to add an IPC main.handle. This handle is going to listen to all the IPC renderer.invoke calls we initiate from our preload script. If you start the application again and change the value of the input, you will see that what you entered in the input field will appear in the console. What's important to note here is that the console log comes from the Node.js environment that runs your Electron application. So at this point, you are free to do basically everything that you can do in your operating system. And this is how you captured user inputs in your Electron applications. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.